SVG's Jason Dackman here. Welcome to another edition of the SVG New Sponsor Spotlight. Excited to have CacheFly as part of the SVG family, and Matt Levine, who is the founder of CacheFly's, joining us. Matt, first and foremost, welcome to SVG, and thanks for taking a few minutes.
Jason, thanks for having me, and thanks for welcoming us with open arms.
Cool. So, for those that aren't familiar, tell us a little bit about what you guys do, the technology offering, and what kind of sets you apart from what would be considered a traditional CDN or transmission offering.
Sure. Well, we've been doing this quite a while now. We started in 2002, which makes me feel extremely old every time I say it. Um, realistically, we're probably most known for pioneering TCP Anycast in the space. For those who don't know, it's just sort of how traffic, gets to a CDN can be a few different technologies. That's the one that we were the first to use, and now you'll see that used from everybody from AWS to Microsoft to Cloudflare. Turns out it was a pretty good idea, and the sort of famous presentation about it was like, I don't know why everybody keeps telling me this is a bad idea. Um, so it's good. It's good for us to be vindicated maybe a little bit all these years later. Um, Having said that, really what we're known for is our focus on throughput in terms of TCP performance.
Sure.
And, it's taken quite a while for end user monitoring, QoE, everything to catch up. We were sort of screaming in a deserted forest a couple decades ago, going, "Who cares about latency? Let's talk about throughput." And sort of the world has kind of come along in a world of multi-CDN and great QoE metrics today. We really feel like 2 decades later, we're still back to the same principles that we started with in the early 2000s, which is let's deliver the bits as fast as possible, and let's do it in a way that allows our clients and their viewers to experience content in better ways.
Cool. So when it comes to our folks, which are the sports production and broadcast folks, how do you think that you can serve that live sports offering? Again, throughput more important than ever. Latency is paramount when it comes to live sports as well.
Yeah,
How do you guys differentiate yourselves a little bit, and what's your offering specific to sports?
sure. So specific to sports, we kind of look at the end-to-end broadcast, if you will, today. And one of the ways that we've had really good success with people is offering custom technology. We sort of pride ourselves on taking a white glove approach.
Hmm.
And so there's been events where we've, run circuits from data centers in the local market into the sort of the broadcast center that's doing the encoding. It's really our ability to take what people are doing at origin and basically do whatever they need. So in some sense, we're a chameleon. A lot of the things that we do are duplicate what other people do. So both on the ingest side and on the end user side, we recently had a customer come to us and say, "Hey, I use, your competitor's authentication method, and we've got this event coming, and we really need a new CDN. What can we do?" And we said, "Well, we'll just implement their authentication method that you already have."
Sure.
They
Right.
were like, "Well, you can do that? What? That's crazy."
Yeah. Right.
Um, so I think today that's how we provide the best value is the opportunity to come in and say, "Hey, don't change anything.
Uh-huh.
Let us do the heavy lifting. We'll figure out what we need to do, again, either at ingest or client facing to make it work the same as your current workflow. And then you just have another CDN you can drop in. And obviously, in the closing days of 2025, everybody's kind of looking for another CDN. Uh,
Sure.
so
Yeah.
I think today that's kind of our maybe secret sauce is just saying like, "Hey, we'll blend in. Don't worry."
Right, right. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We'll make sure you get to keep the workflows you're comfortable with, but just add to the capability. So, yeah, closing days of 2025, but 2026 is going to be a crazy year. There's certainly some big global events on the horizon over the next few years, several of which are located right here in the States. How do you see this sector of the market evolving, especially as there's again more events, there's more audiences that need to be served, there's a lot more feeds going out from every event, and it's, let's be honest, more complex than it's ever been. How do you see the market evolving, and how are you guys playing a role in that evolution?
I think the biggest thing that is making a difference today is the level of coordination that's happening. Obviously, as the events ramp up in terms of scale and size and visibility, I think the rights holders now have a little more weight to throw around when
Mhm.
it comes to the whole ecosystem. So, they're demanding a little more of us on the CDN side. They're demanding a little more of the providers on the ISP side. And what we actually see is the best events are the ones where there's kind of a group coordination effort that's actually happening between the broadcast partner, the delivery mechanisms, whether that's CDN or multi-CDN, and the eyeball networks, instead of just sort of like, oh, we'll let capitalism do its thing.
Right.
Um, it works a little bit better when everybody's like, hey, we're all kind of invested in this event going well.
Totally.
You as the eyeball provider do not want 10,000 phone calls to your support line. Us as the CDN don't want to be sending you traffic in places you don't want it and can't have it. Broadcaster does not want to be sending bits to us to deliver to an ISP we don't have capacity to.
Yep.
So, the feedback mechanisms are getting better, not just in the QoE side of things, but actually in the pre-event coordination, that's all getting better. For larger events where there's a war room, it's a lot more collaborative today than it was maybe 2, 3 years ago, and I think it'll be even more so, over the next year. Again, as people sort of give up on the idea that they can avoid being part of the solution, like it's
Right.
really easy to be part of the problem. But I think everybody now is kind of committed to be part of the solution, which really helps everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. There certainly was many years where it was not my problem. Let's offload that. Let somebody else figure it out. But it is a little bit more kumbaya these days. We're certainly seeing that at these big global events more and more, especially. Matt, really appreciate you taking the time and welcome to SVG. We hope to see you at an SVG event sometime soon.
Well, absolutely. We'll see you in December. Thanks, Jason.
Excellent. For more on CacheFly, make sure to check out cachefly.com. That's CacheFly.com. And stay tuned to sportsvideo.org and SVG Play for more news on CacheFly in the coming weeks and months.